Hello there.
Well, hello there.
Oh, that doesn't look good. That looks like a hospital room. Oh dear.
Well, hey, they came and grabbed me this morning.
Okay. I hope they're taking good care of you.
Well, so far so good, but
Okay.
it's kind of like the cowboy that jumped off the 10-story building, and he was heard to say as he flew by each floor, "So far so good."
Well, well, very true.
Yeah, my oxygen the last few days has dropped into the low 70s, and any much lower than that, you go unconscious.
Yeah,
So
let's not do that.
Debbie, my wife, Debbie,
Yeah.
decided that it was time to do something about it since I kept kind of blowing it off, and she called an ambulance and had them come and get me.
Well, every time I've met her, she seems like a pretty smart cookie, so I'd listen to her.
Well, I do and I don't. I listen to her, but she's the one having to put up with it, to be honest with you. I
Yeah.
don't have to do anything. I'm bedridden.
Yeah.
I just have to sit there and watch cowboy movies. Uh, but yeah, they got me down here. They put me on heart monitors. They put me on oxygen monitors, and they've got my oxygen level back into the low 90s. They're,
Okay.
they're going to do an aspiration tonight where they drain some fluid off my lungs,
Okay.
um, and then ship me back home, I think, tomorrow or the next day. But of
Okay.
course, this is the second time. The last month's board meeting was the same thing. The day of the board meeting, they haul me to the hospital. And I think it's some kind of conspiracy. I think that Day arranged this so that, he didn't have to put up with me that last day. And now he's doing it to protect Day or Greg for the first day. So it's a communist conspiracy. There he is, the conspirators, the whole group of conspirators. They call up this dang hospital and say, grab him this day. We'll send the truck. And then next thing I know, I'm down here.
Since it changed. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rant and
No.
rave, I guess.
No, carry on. We're waiting for a minute for Lindsay to get here and we'll get started.
I guess a plane just crashed at the Medford airport.
Seriously?
Landing gear up. Now all the tankers are going to Klamath.
That's what we know about a lot of stuff.
It looked like
Well,
everyone was landed on its belly with no landing gear, but they said everything's diverted. Great.
I will apologize up front if I am requested to leave.
Yeah, we're not.
You're a little preoccupied right now.
Well, I might be. I have no idea.
Okay. Well, Lindsay will be here in a minute, so we'll go ahead and get started. Call the meeting to order at 6:02 and we'll start the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
For which it stands.
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You still need your urinal? Yeah, you're not gonna be able to reach them there.
Hey,
They must have put them there when you went to CT. Oh, sorry.
Well, introduction of guests, and it looks like we have a guest.
There you go. Good job.
So, would you make an introduction?
I will make an introduction. I was hoping Lindsay would be here before I made the introduction, but I'll go right ahead.
We can skip to good degree if you want.
I'll make the introduction since I'm already up, and we're all wondering. I'll talk a little bit about the K-12 principal search in my report tonight. It's probably the only thing. But this is who we offered the position to. Her name's Deanna Williams. And today she came to us from Hood River. All right. And so, all right, I'll let her introduce herself and then we'll move on to good degree.
Thank you for having me. Been in education for a long time, administration. Will be my 6th year, and happy to be here. Love small towns, love kids, and refining systems and improving life. So we're in the right place.
Lindsay's lost.
Oh,
I went there
too.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. We were doing it for so long over there.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah.
I'm used to the fires coming from the board.
I saw Natalie walk out of the high school building and I was like, oh, good, our gear coordinator's back.
Pump the brakes, Greg.
We could do introductions for you. I'm Josh. By trade, I'm a state labor relations manager for the state of Oregon. I've been on the board for 9 years, give or take a little bit. And we'll work our way around.
I'm Natalie. I have been on the board for about a year now. I used to work in school for a couple of years. My children go to school here. We live up here.
My name's Simon. Been back on the board for 7 months now. We've been on before. 2 young boys, 8 and 10, they're enrolled in school.
My name is Lindsay Smith. I've been on the board a month. A little over.
I've got 3 kids that go here. One is about to be in kindergarten. And then Tori is 10, she'll be 11. And then the soon will be 8th grader.
Lindsay, this is Deanna Williams, the person we hired for the K-12 principal.
Okay. Nice meeting
And I'm sorry, here, because you're on the panel,
Yeah, I already met.
Sherry.
I don't know. So Sherry, this is Char. And Ray.
And Ray.
And I'm Ray Williams. I'm on the school board. I've been up at the school from all different positions and duties from like 15 years now. I don't know how they can't seem to get rid of me. They keep calling an ambulance to haul me off, or I think they're trying to tell me something. But I've enjoyed the school. You've got some magnificent people up there, and I enjoy and love them all dearly.
We take our board work serious, so when you get out of line, you go to the hospital. But you should be out soon and recovering just fine, so.
Yeah, I'm fine. I have put a nail in my coffin almost every year of my life. I'm going to slide in sideways with a cigarette in one hand, a beer in the other hand, and yell out, "Wahoo, what a ride."
Wait, moving on to good to great. Jess, what's our first or Lindsay?
Oh,
Oh, Lindsay, congratulations.
My good to great is, I guess, what it seems like I think is we're keeping everything on track with having Greg and
Absolutely.
momentum, good momentum.
Rose.
Oh, I was gonna be on the same path as Lindsay. Yeah, it's just the track and keeping that flywheel going and getting everything lined out for next year through this transition.
Hiring a K-12 principal before August. Well done, Greg.
Whoa. Mine's gonna be on the same path, I think, even though we had a kind of a delayed start with Superintendent Stone leaving, bringing Greg on and going through that process, going through this process has been very systematic. And still with the eye on the prize, and I appreciate that and work perspective, just keeping that.
I could take the easy road and say, oh, the process has been complete. I am glad for that. I just wanted to, in good to great, we talked about sending the art students work down to the county fair, and follow through was something that was on my mind since we had that idea. And I called Katie to ask what she needed from me. She needed me to drive, she needed me to load, she needed me to drop paperwork off, because there's a paperwork process and a drop off process and a pinup process. She said, oh, I'm done. So we have, I don't know how many students have art down there, quite a few, but 11 of them have more than 2 pieces. If you have more than 2 pieces, they give them free entry to the county fair. So go down to the fair and search out our artwork, and I'm hoping we clean up on ribbons this year, and we continue that process. So I was really elated that she wanted to give her time and support kids in that way. So that's awesome.
Mine's just a shout out and recognition to Fawn. She continues to hang in there with us. She started another job at this point, still helping us through with Gira, thinking we had someone and now starting over. And, still doing training and willing to help get there until we get short person. So really appreciate everything.
You had this whole time.
I think everything here is great. But I think, I don't know, I guess mine's not really good for great. Mine's just like something that I'm most thankful for since I just finished my first year here. And that's Sherry and Greg just being like very patient, but also like making it possible for me to even learn this job. Like, I was a little scared at first. But like them having faith in me and like, I don't know, I just trust them a lot. Like, I fully trust every decision that they make for our district, and I'm thankful that they've just get to where we are.
Thanks. Cool. Mr. Williams, you have to good to great.
How are you?
Our good to great, you're still breathing. That's good.
I've got a lot of good to greats in my life, but the best and the greatest has been associated with that little school that you guys have up there. That's I've done a lot of things in my life, and I've been a lot of places. I've managed a lot of different people. I've circled the world quite a few times, and in my entire life, I've never met a group that is better or greater than you people up there. And that's with all of my heart.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Hey, teacher input. Doesn't look like we have any teachers in the audience.
Janet.
Oh, this is why I forgot you're on the phone.
I am here, but I don't have anything to add because school has been out. And I don't remember when the last board meeting was, but since then we've come back from our Washington, D.C. trip, and it was a blast. I love sharing that with our kids. Our trip home was a little bit of an adventure because of flights and such, but it was such a great experience. And I've been working on going through photos that I want to connect to Miss Lawning so we can have some of our kiddos' pictures in the yearbook.
Yeah, and I should add that remiss for not adding that, but it's like a fantastic Washington D.C. trip. All around was pretty successful, and seeing the kids coming from a veteran and family, seeing our kids do the Breathe the Tune with the Unknown Soldier was an absolute total cherry on top. It was a fun trip. It was fun.
Thank you.
Community input, anything good for the community? If not, we'll move on to business. 2.1 election of the board chair.
You nominate?
Yep.
I nominate Josh Wetchell for board chair.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion and a second for me to be board chair.
Do you accept?
I do accept. I will accept. And without any other nominations, we will start with Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Rose,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
I also vote yes. And we have election of the vice chair.
I'll nominate Lindsay.
Okay.
Look at that.
And you accept. The motion for Lindsay to be the vice chair. Any questions or great? Not this time. We'll start with Ms. Rose.
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
I also vote yes, and
Yes.
Ms. Smith. Yes, thank you.
Feel free to call me if you have any questions you want to ask me.
All right.
And move on to our the resolution for interfund transfers. Ms. Erie, can you kind of explain this for a second?
So the interfund transfers, we don't likely use it anymore. That was for special revenue funds, which is a lot of our grant funds since SIA, High School Success, and we have some special revenue reserve funds. We don't typically get in a negative balance in our special revenue, but that resolution is there just in case.
Is there a motion to accept the resolution for interfund transfers?
So move.
So Ray motions and
I'll
Simon seconds.
Yeah.
Motion second. Any questions? Great on that. We'll start with Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Vote yes as well. Ms. Smith
Yes.
and Ms. Rose.
Yes.
Next order of business is the organizational and annual procedure of business. Ms. Erie, you want to walk through that again too? You feel like I can walk through that? Everybody has it on the form. This is just our guiding principle. We're gonna do who's responsible for what tasks. And when we have our meetings and where we report our newspaper of records, insurance, attorneys, all the other good stuff. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay, so is there?
You have a question about that at all?
Okay, yes, I did have a question on the authorization for salary payments. It's listed as a business manager, which would be Sherry, but is this document a controlling document or is it just a guide? Because if we submit this to the bank, will they like make a salary payment if you're not available? Or is it
Yeah.
just solely you?
It's here. I mean, we're
It's
gonna
just
have
us.
other things in place for, payments for signatures, for ACH approvals, those types of things.
Gotcha. So this is just overall organization, our document, not going to our bank and stuff like that. Okay. Have any more questions or anything that you have?
No, I would just, if this wasn't just ours, then I would suggest some language or a process for that we can discuss down the road.
Yeah, we build in our procedures for whatever we have to do for it.
Yes.
Is Upper Rogue Independent still a business for a newspaper?
It is.
Okay,
It's metal agenda.
because I haven't seen it in
It's
a
online
long time.
now, right?
I haven't seen it anywhere in a long time, that's why I asked.
I got up today and looked for one somewhere.
So do we have a motion to accept the 26-27 organization and annual procedure of business document?
Motion to accept the document.
Motions are second.
Second.
Motion and the second. Any questions or debate? I believe we start with Ray.
Yes.
Oh, yes, as well, Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Rose.
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes.
And now we have consent motions, the minutes from June 9th, June 5th, and I believe there are changes to. No, there's nothing.
It's not for certified. no.
Yeah, nothing for certified. We have any corrections, or is there a motion to accept 3.1 to 3. Yes, 3.3 without.
The motion we accept 3.1 to 3.3.
Is there a second?
I second.
Motion and second to accept the minutes. Any questions and debate? We'll start with myself. I will vote yes. Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Rose,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
and Ray.
Yes.
And reports. Your first report, superintendent.
All right, so I could read straight off this, but I think I'm gonna summarize and you guys can take this home and hang it on your fridge. if you want.
It's gonna be that good.
Yeah, it's that good. I'm just gonna briefly go over the K-12 principal process. It was a very intentional process. I wanted it to be. So I'll kind of just touch on each one of these bulleted highlights. Because it was a confidential process. I'm not gonna name names or go into scores or anything like that. I'm just gonna cover that process. So assessed and defined leadership qualities that our district needed, that our students needed, that our teachers needed, that our staff needed. And so wrote a barrage of questions to draw out experience and philosophy and things of that nature. So we gathered a panel of staff together and did an application review. We had a total of 9 applicants.
Wow.
And so through completed applications with accurate information, some calls to double check on information, we came up with actually we narrowed it to 7 at first, and then part of the process was an in-person interview so that the candidates would understand, hey, this is where prospects at, this is what we look like, this is what the community looks like, this is what a commuting would be like. And we had 2 applicants decline interviews for other reasons. So we had it down to 5. So we split it up last week into Wednesday, Thursday with 2 and 3 interviews. And so I organized the interviews around these areas: instructional leadership, adult accountability, restorative leadership, supervision and visibility, organization and follow through, a rural K-12 fit, the ability to join and strengthen existing initiatives, human dignity, humility, and growth. And last but not least, problem solving under pressure. And so questions were designed with a rubric that each of the panelists were requested to follow, the 1 through 5 rubric based on, vagueness or didn't answer to, wow, that was thorough, that was a real example. All questions were scenarios or tell us about times so that we could draw out the experience or the ability to say, hey, I've never been in this scenario before, but I can tell you how I would approach it. And so I felt that gave us a pretty good view of candidate. So at the end of the process, panel members provided written recommendations, submitted their rubrics and their scores to me, identified strongest evidence that supported their recommendations, and noted any concerns that they believe that I should know when I make this process. At the start of the process, I let the panel know that they're serving in an important advisory role, but not a determinant role. That I would make the decision based on their input, my assessment, the needs of the district, and how I felt at the end of the whole process, and after I double checked references. So final decision wasn't based on one answer, one score, one person's preference. It was based on a candidate who, in my judgment, offered the strongest overall fit for our district and the greatest likelihood of successfully serving our students, staff, families, and community. And so put down a little red box. We won't be processing and voting on the contract or approving the contract tonight. We're going to take some more time to finish that process. So I'm confident that this was a fair, consistent, job-related, thoughtfully aligned with what our district needs. So if you have any questions, if you want to see rubrics or questions, I'll share those with you guys with that. So
Cool. Any questions?
No.
Financial report.
So fiscal year and financial statement was in your packet. I don't expect, there may be minimal adjustments, but nothing significant. Just as I close everything out and get ready for audit in August. So looking at our balance in general fund, current year, you'll see that at 2,097,000, almost 2,098,000. We used beginning fund of 2,095,000. There is not any excess there. And beginning fund balance carrying over. I ended up, revenues come in, there was some unexpected increases in some expenditures at the year end and some expenses, some payouts that had to be made, that I had to reduce transfers. So 95,000 went to the building maintenance fund and special revenue, and 50,000 went to cafeteria, which 50,000 to cafeteria was a 12,000 reduction for 24-25. So we made significant adjustments last school year in trying to make that operate with less expense. It's out there managing Cisco orders, trying not to prepackaged food and cooking. So those types of things. Other than that, the building maintenance fund in the budget had a beginning fund balance forecasted at 400,000. That's going to be 362,000. So with the decrease in the transfer, at the point of year end, felt it was more important to keep general fund where it needed to be and budgeted, with the balance already 350,000 plus. And also the HVAC system came in more than anticipated by the time we got done with the electrical. So none of that maintenance fund at year end. Safe workers comp payroll submitted. I'll have an audit later this fall. Payroll rate wages just kind of give you an increase for about 155,000 higher than prior year. So just 2.64 million was our payroll costs. Moving out of 25, 26, 26, 27 budgets filed, all the resolutions that went to the assessor and everything is filed there. When we're talking multiple years, I also just got notification that we'll have a single audit monitoring for federal, which is part of our 24 to 25 audited funds that they are just auditing now. As part of uniform guidance, because we have the federal funds spent over $750,000 in 24-25. 2 years later, here we are, and they're working and auditing these. So more to come on that.
Daily $1 short.
Yeah.
That's something Acuity will do.
No, it's through the state.
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah, which isn't uncommon. We just normally don't have this because we don't have federal funds other than that 1 year that exceeded. And now it's $1 million, which is highly unlikely we'll ever meet again, but. The only other thing I had is CEP approval is approved for the next 4 years. And with our student percentage and the multiplier, we will receive 100% free rate cleaning for the next 4 years for our lunch program for breakfast and lunch
100%.
students. Any questions?
Good job on getting a budget close to actual numbers. That's pretty tight margins. Good job.
It's tight, and this year, I mean, we have a lot of discussion and, time is going, just kind of looking at plans and setting things out. But very much watching that enrollment number, is very, very crucial. We don't have wiggle room next year.
I do have questions on some of these expenses. There's quite a bit, several $100 worth of like Chromebooks to be fixed, with some keys, keyboards, stuff like that. Talking to Greg, it sounds like there might be a plan in place on how we kind of manage those costs. Is that something that we just budget as just as maintenance of equipment, or is that something that kids or parents are going to be held accountable?
It is a requirement that our 3 point as board members enter through Greg. So if any of us have questions of an individual employee that is under Greg's responsibility, we have to ask for his permission to speak with him. There's one doorway in, one doorway out, and that's through Greg.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Sherry speak to how she budgets. So I open that door. I'm gonna have Sherry speak to that, and then I'll speak to the accountability piece.
So the smaller Chromebook repairs, a screen, a key, something like that, we budget. We budget for those types of things. But Greg and I discussed, and then he has a little bit more to share as far as things.
Yeah, I'll give you a little bit of history first. So we did have 1-to-1 with Chromebooks went home with students. Looking at patterns and things a couple of years ago, I decided that we would invest in Chromebook carts for classrooms, because what was happening often was a student would take the Chromebook home on the bus, leave it on the bus, forget it at home. And then they didn't have it available to them when they needed it. That was happening quite a bit. There was a major loss in Chromebooks. So I thought let's try having a set in the office for checkout, and we'll have a set in each classroom that utilizes them so that students can check them out. There was some autonomy given with respect to how people manage their Chromebooks. And so one of the things we've seen quite often, especially in this last year, is the routine for stowing Chromebooks and moving Chromebooks around the room wasn't super tight. And so in order to prevent loss, we've come up with because K2 uses iPads, and they have a pretty solid system, but any student it's probably I would say 3 to 12, but 6-12 is where we're going to have a system for checking Chromebooks out of the classroom, where every student during every period has a name on the Chromebook, and then the adult in the classroom or adults will have the same routine across the board consistently, where for a while we will practice. You got Chromebook number 1, you put it in Chromebook number 1 and plug it in, and then we have that routine so that kids aren't cramming them in sideways, halfway open. And then let's say that Natalie is in first period and Simon's in second and Lindsay's in third, right? That's recorded. So if Natalie puts her Chromebook away nice and neat, and Simon pulls pulls it out the second period and doesn't see anything wrong with it. And Lindsay comes along third period and the keyboard's punched out, then we have a way to trace things back. So holding kids and families accountable to, you know, like a key popping off or you sat on it or some accident happened. I think it's fair to like say you're gonna pay for that and when somebody else it isn't because of that. But if it's egregious, if it's like stab, witness, or it's severely damaged, then we would ask, we would go with the policy JFCB, which is care of district property by students. And we go the accountability route that way. So that's well known. I've seen how much we've paid in repair and replace. And also I've asked IT when they come up this week, I want a list of things that you guys are gonna cover and I want all these things sorted out and ready to go, way ahead of time, compared to the previous year. So that one's taken care of.
That's good. Any other questions?
I just, two little quick statements. One is all of that is covered by policy on how you should be looking at it. And then the other is, I did bring Day, a parting dinner. So it's a nice little cookie. It came with the rest of the meal,
All right.
but the cookie is his.
Okay.
I'll come get it. All right.
Okay, if no other questions, then 4.3, the informational personnel report.
Let's see, where is that?
Right out the Trace financials.
You're right.
Oh, it's right here. Okay, so Gear Up, the person we offered who accepted, reached out to us on Monday morning, letting us know that because of some mitigating circumstances that we're not going to be able to serve in that role. Knowing how important time is, I went ahead and asked, Sherry and Jess to repost that position, as soon as we could, so that we can start that process. So we just reopened it. And so we'll be reaching out to people attempting to recruit. If you guys know somebody who's impeccable with follow through and attention to detail, send them our way.
And the money's coming from where?
From Gear Up,
Okay.
grant, 7 years.
All right, just checking.
The other extra duty contracts, that's Andy Jacoby for middle school football. You guys know Andy's been volunteering here. He volunteered last year with middle school football. We posted the middle school assistant coach, had some applicants and we ended up with Andy being the last one who didn't withdraw. We interviewed Andy and offered him the job last week. And he's assisted with wrestling, track in middle school. So he's got good connections and relationships there. Justin Davis resigned for some personal reasons last week. He came in, and so we'll be posting that. I want to post that soon in the summer to see if we have interest in it, and start recruiting. And then we'll address some of the concerns he shared with me regarding character development and systems of support for students with respect to commitment to a program. So those are things that we'll be meeting with coaches on most likely during the moratorium week when we can't be with athletes.
With the hire of Andy, now all fall coaches
Okay.
filled for volleyball, football.
Volleyball, high school football, middle school volleyball, and middle school football.
Very cool. Any questions? Okay, we're going to old business. So we have third reading of the sexual harassment policies, GBN, JBA, and JBA, GBN. These have gone through. We had first reading. We amended when Mr. Stone was here. It's third reading now, so we can amend it to removing it, just going to add Mr. Brian's name to it. So we'll just need a motion to approve 5.1.1 and 5.1.2.
The motion to approve 5.1.1 and 5.1.2.
There's no motions, and there's a second. Or is there a second? Sorry.
A second.
Second, some questions or debate on policies. And then I believe now it's Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Rose.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes,
And I also vote yes. New business 6.1 is not going to be this evening. 6.2, the working agreement should be in. Okay. This is something that Mr. Stone brought to the district when he came on. There may be one before him, I don't recall, but he brought on. It's a good document, kind of lays out the process of what our role is versus the superintendent's role and kind of how we interact. And go forth. Did everybody have a chance to read it or go through them? Anybody have any questions or anything you want to say on it or?
I do have something I want to add and open up, when we get down to 6.3, but we're already there. Any adjustments, I'd like to discuss it, maybe a retreat or just definitions. I've looked over this several times and kept some notes on it. I don't see a need to deviate from any of these any of the numbers on here, other than just clearly defining some things, for example, if what. Let's see where I was going with what exactly is no surprises me, so that we're all on the same page when we're considering things like that.
So is this something you want to vote on except tonight that we can sign, or you want to postpone to after a board retreat?
I would like to postpone it until after the board retreat. It's pretty much all there. It's just I'd like to tweak it a little bit and make it super clear, because I think clarity is important.
Will anybody have any issue with tabling until next month? And we will table it to August. And then we have 6.3 in the schedule of board retreat.
Right. I'd like to schedule a board retreat. And I wanted to wait until after we hired K-12 principal.
So we want to table that until we meet in the near future to accept the contract.
Yeah, well, tonight I'd like to have a board retreat, and all I was looking for was some input on the 5th or 6th of August. I'd like to have a board retreat on site here. I don't want to travel anywhere and go anywhere or rent a boat at Shasta for dinner or anything like that. But I would like for us to meet and look at a few things early in August. And I know I start to snowball schedule wise after the 11th of August. And I know that we don't have a principal contract. They start their contract August 3rd, I believe. So I thought that week might be, if you guys are ever not available, give me input on some of those times.
I think the best day for me would be Thursday the 6th. I couldn't make the 5th work, but the 6th would be clear. The Thursday.
I'm not clear on the 6th, but I am on the 5th.
I believe I'm either 5th or 6th, it's fine by me. Yeah.
Either day I can make it happen.
The 6th is the only day that week I'm not available. I'm taking the girls to Luke Bryan.
Oh, yeah.
In bed.
Yeah. The 5th looks like it's the best.
Okay. Is there a time of day that's better for all of you, afternoon, morning?
Early is better than late, your days.
Okay.
Early's good. I like early.
Before the day has a chance to go off the rails.
You could do like a breakfast.
Yeah.
Like a big breakfast. I don't know about you. I'm early. I'm like up at 5:30, so.
So she's saying 5:45.
Right, 5:45. Wait, no, you're like an hour.
Jazz is like.
Last year breakfast, they told me the earliest they can pick up is 6:30.
I know, just so.
Yeah, by the time it gets up here.
But if we were, if we did like a 7:38 or something,
All right.
if you guys are cool with that.
So superintendent sunrise breakfast.
There you
Okay, anything else on that? They're good to get going with? Okay, and then 6.4, new member resources. So I think Jess is gonna share her screen. So we
Well, I
put,
should share Sherry's screen because my computer doesn't want to connect to Zoom.
so we have essentially a brand new board. We're pretty close to a brand new board. So we wanted to kind of show the Google Drive where we have everything so everybody can see it, in case there's questions. And Jess is gonna do a quick walkthrough of the drive. We can find old meetings, and then we set up a new folder for new members, and it kind of has some guides from OSBA on there. So if you, as a new board member, come on, hey, let's read this. This kind of leads into everything else, but just a quick guide as we're having some issues on who can get onto Google Drive, who can't, just so we can see where everything's at. This would just be a quick overview. Obviously, if you have questions, you can't find anything, you can reach out to me or Jess or Mr. Bryant, and we can pinpoint, but just so we're all on the same page before stuff like that.
I did.
Well, OSBA offers out hourly courses on their webpage that anybody can take at any time. And they offer out all of the training, I'm pretty sure, that is required.
Yep. Yeah, and they have their webinars, so I think as everybody becomes a board member, they should get a login for OSBA.
Yeah, and I was taking them all the time, and they're an hour at noontime, and they are pretty meticulous at making them just that hour because they work too. So
And if you have troubles logging in when you get it, then let us know. But there's this new file that we created that has new member resources, and then Mr. Wetzel and I kind of just added some things in here, and then we'll update them as the years go. So honestly, even not just new members, like this is an easy place to find the budget. And then just some things for you to go through to kind of brush up.
Yeah, and we'll have the evaluation. Obviously, we're gonna do that every year. So the evaluation documents here, just before we get into that meeting, we'll talk about it, but just a good brush up of what we're doing. And then if you back out.
Yeah,
of
to this one, board.
Then in here's like all historical board meetings. So if you want to go back and do research, we'll get into the further down below, sorry, like the charter school agreement, then there's contracts that we have historical wise. So anything that we've had since, not everything's in there, but since we kind of went to the system, there's quite a bit of information in there. And then
And if you're not able to get in the drive for whatever reason, I did check and everybody should be able to get in there. But if you're not, then let us know. We have been having some technical problems with our Google because.
Hello, sir, just checking in on you.
They do some updates and stuff, but yeah, so if you have problems, just let us know.
yeah, it's a pretty good resource. You're like, man, I remember this early in the year, we did this, and I can't find it. It's in there, and it's a good place to have. Go back and just check things.
again.
What's that?
Ray's talking.
All the signed things and stuff are in there too. Watching the meeting.
Anybody had any questions on there? Everybody can log in, everybody's been able to get online and.
Have to check it.
I was gonna say,
I just had a visitor making sure I wasn't, sleeping in here on you guys.
As you maybe saw when the email came out today for the meeting, we just had a quick brief on there, in the initial email because everything's posted online. But the initial brief is just in there, so if there's anything major going on, hey, make sure you pay attention to this. It should be on that brief, so we know, because most people look at the agenda probably the day of, the day before the meeting. But before, when it gets posted the week before, there might be something good to pay attention to for that next week in case something comes up or you hear something on the weekend. That is just a quick, hey, here's a snapshot. If there's nothing on there, then there's really nothing in that area. It doesn't mean there may not be later. It just didn't make that snapshot. But it was just a quick, yeah, okay, nothing really to pay attention to, or, ooh, I got a lot of reading to this weekend, so. Anything to add to that? No questions? Okay. So far, knocking wood, be a great start to 26, 27. And with that, guess upcoming board dates, next board meeting will be August 11th, except we will have a special meeting probably sometime next week. So pay attention to your text when I reach out to you,
Next week,
probably next week.
I won't be available at all.
Right.
But as long as you can form a quorum, you're good, yeah.
The
I'm
first day is-
putting out notice up here, no more Tuesdays. The doors are closed on this establishment on Tuesdays.
No, it's hashtag no Fridays. You're on the wrong day. Anyway. And then the first day of school is gonna be August 1st. And with that, at 6:45, we're adjourn this meeting.
Good night, Ray.
Well, you guys have a nice evening.
Good.